Okay, ready, go. Ready, go. Okay, so let's take a look at the down the line view first. Your backswing here is quite low.
Shallow.
Yeah.
Flat.
So that gives you an outward swing plane. So you consistently hit the ball right. So if the ball comes back, it's not a problem.
Right.
But if you have tendency of hitting ball to the right, that is a consistent miss. So we need to adjust the direction of the swing plane. Yeah. So here, your left shoulder is going flat here, and then the right hand is low. From here, naturally you will hit the ball to the right. Yeah, you are hitting the ball really well. But the thing is, because your swing plane is more outward with the flat backswing, that's causing the trouble.
Yeah.
So let's try to image this.
With my irons, I'm almost always, my miss is a hook. And my driver, the miss is always, my natural shot is a little fade.
So what happens is, if your swing plane is more outward, then the low point occurs about here. If the ball is here, low point occurs early, quite early here.
Right.
And then even irons the same. And then also if you tend to shift the body that way much, then the club is hitting here. And then the club is turning this way, face is turning this way. That gives a hook spin.
Right.
Okay? So for the driver, when you have a square impact, then it will be a block shot.
Yeah.
If you have a fade, then it's even worse.
Yeah.
Because you're starting that way, and then if the ball curves to the right.
Like if I'm mid-round and I keep hitting it right, what I do to fix it mid-round is pull the ball back a little bit more. And it basically gets the ball earlier.
So making this way, it gets worse, actually.
Yeah, it gets worse, but it at least gets it in the fairway.
If you keep the ball more that way, so keep more toward the left foot, then it turns, and then as it is turning back, it's hitting the ball. So you can change the direction. But that's a quick fix. And ultimately, you have to address the way you do the backswing.
I see.
And in your image, you should be able to swing the club more that way.
Okay.
So actually, you should be able to control the direction the way you want.
Sure.
Currently, you are only, it's like a swamp. You are in the swamp,
Yeah.
and it can get worse. Once you are, deep in the swamp, then you will not be able to come out. So that's why we need to change this. And then, so more importantly, always having a good intention or image is important.
Right.
But currently in your backswing, the left shoulder is going in this way quite a bit, whether you have a flat backswing.
That's my tendency, is to move off the
yeah,
ball
yeah.
rather than.
So that's what I see. Then if you pay attention to the right shoulder here, instead of right shoulder going backward here, try to bring the right shoulder here. This will naturally give you a more reverse pivot posture here. Okay? So if you can change the way you move your right shoulder, then things are a lot easier.
Okay.
So once you're going a bit steeper here, then from there you will be able to bring the club more inward this way. But if the right shoulder goes backward and then this comes in quite a bit, from this position it's hard to
Then
change
I'm either over the top or I'm hitting it this way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what we need to work on. So in your case, let's use the rope and the orange whip.
Sure.
And with that, we'll try to change the swing plane.
Okay.
Once it's done, then I think it will be a lot easier to
Okay.
do this. So. Let's first start with the rope. Try to swing back and forth. Hold it at the end, so make it as long as possible. And then try to give enough speed to the rope. Okay. Your goal is, it's too snappy. The motion should be smooth.
Okay.
Smooth, but you have to give enough speed to the rope here. Swing, swing, swing like this. Okay. Instead of going flat, flat.
I see. I notice it comes over your shoulder here, not under.
Now, as you do that, in the backswing, try to, you can keep the right arm close to your to the chest like this.
Okay.
That's okay. But instead of going back flat here, try to bring the right shoulder a bit higher
I see.
in the backswing.
Okay, so twisting around, almost feel like I'm
Yeah,
twisting up.
yeah. So if the left shoulder comes in too much, then you go flat like this. Drop the left shoulder a little bit, and then keep the right shoulder a bit higher, with the still arms, the right arm quite close to the body. This is okay. But by just turning this way, and also you tend to straighten your leg, and that the
Yes.
right hip is going backward quite a bit. But instead, try to stand on the right side here. Yeah, in order to keep your weight on the right side, you cannot really move the right hip back.
Okay.
Only when you try to push the ground this way, and then this goes here. But if you really try to put your weight on the right
So should
side,
my knee still be bent in the back?
it can be slightly bent.
Yeah.
That's okay.
And this shoulder shouldn't go past this shoulder?
So instead of worrying about this,
Yeah.
just try to bring the right shoulder a bit higher.
Okay.
Still, you can keep this complex fairly
Okay.
tight here. That's okay. But try to bring this a bit higher, and then keep swinging back and forth.
Okay.
And in doing that, your head is basically moving this way here. Then everything has to move that way. So your head has to roll this way here. If this is the current head position here, try to roll it this way. As if something is holding here. It doesn't allow your head to move sideward. Then you have to go this way here. So, now, during the backswing, your head is hold here. Then try to turn. Then your head has to go this way here. Okay, your upper part of the head is staying here. Then turn. Instead of the head, whole head is moving this way here. Okay? So here, this is what you need to feel here. But you are giving up too easily here. You have to stand on the right side. Stand. Keep. Okay, let's do this. Narrow your stance a bit. Your stance is too wide, judging from the symptom here, too wide. And then try to shift here, and turn so that you can have your weight on the right side. The hip is moving backward.
Oh.
This is the issues.
Oh, back towards.
Your hip is moving backward too much.
Oh, okay.
So instead, just try to put your weight, a lot of weight on the right side. The right leg has to support your body, not the left side. Whole right side has to support your body. When you really have a lot of weight on this side, you cannot move the pelvis backward that much here.
I feel like I'm on the balls of my feet.
Yes, you are standing on this side here, so that
Okay.
you can tap here.
But all my weight should be here?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I settle into the heel and forward? kind of?
Don't worry about that. Just to have a stepping like action. But this time, it's just a swing back and forth. Instead of paying attention to the body motion, let's pay attention to the rope motion.
Okay.
So particularly end of the rope.
All right.
Just to give enough speed to the end of the rope so that it can go around your body.
Right.
But then bring the right shoulder a bit higher in the backswing. Bring the right hands a bit higher here. So with that, what you should be able to do is you should be able to swing the rope toward where I am. I'm staying the left side of the target. The T is the target, and I'm standing about here, the doorknob here. You have to swing the rope toward me. Yeah, let's go back slightly. You're too close to, yeah. No need to hit the T. So from there, try to throw the rope toward me. So let's do this. So let me show you this. Ultimately, what you should be able to do is here. I'll swing and then intentionally try to change the direction. Okay? So first, this is more squared toward the target. Pulling in, pull it in, pull it in, push out, now square. By using my motion, okay, by moving my motion, I'm adjusting my upper body motion, and with that, I'm changing the direction of the rope. So you should be able to do this. So what I'm asking now is swinging it toward me. Yep. So in order to swing it toward me, you have to change the way you do the backswing. You see, in your image, let's put it this way. So in order to swing the rope over this way, then the whole thing has to shift like this, right? Without changing your stance, you have to basically guide it here and then throw this way. Guide it here and throw away. And if you want to go this way, guide it here and then throw. And then if it's square, then you have to guide it here and then let it go. So unless you make any changes in the backswing, it's hard to change the direction in the downswing.
And my old swing was this one.
Yeah, yeah. So that's a swamp right now, but you have to get out of it. Okay. So now intentionally, in your image, you're trying to guide everything more this way. Okay. Then, what changes in the body motion you have to introduce. That's what you need to figure out. But then obviously one way to do that is bring the right shoulder higher, right hand a bit higher, then it'll be easier to change the direction here. Now the tempo is too quick. Let's make it a bit, so put the more speed and then make the motion a bit bigger, okay? Yes. Yeah, now I can see that the rope is coming this way. Let me record this. Swing, 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 swing. Yeah. So now you can change the.
Yeah, I feel the difference now. I feel like my hands are coming out here.
Yeah. So you are young still. That means that you should own your body. That means you should be able to change the way you move your body when you have a clear goal here. So the goal here is to swing the rope more leftward or inward. Yeah. Then you have to adjust your body motion and then make that happen. So here, I was standing slightly on the left side, and then you were throwing the rope toward me. That means you change the direction. You see, this is really good. Now I'll stay in front of the tee, but still try to swing it toward the doorknob here, which is on your left side. That's very good. That's very good. So now what I see is you're not really forcing the rope to come in this way, but rather you're throwing the rope and then use the motion of the rope. That's
I feel like I'm throwing it out there now.
That's what you need to
instead of
learn.
pulling it back here.
So whenever you actually do the back swing, it's not body dictated motion like this, but rather use the momentum of the club and then let it go here. Yeah. Then you will be able to control the direction.
Like more my hands are what get it going rather than the body.
Yeah. So then you don't need to move the left shoulder quite in this way, but rather let it go and then maintain that motion here, and then come down. Yeah. So that's what you need to learn. Now let's make it square. So toward me, in front of the target here. It's going slightly outward. Bring it in a little bit more. Yes. Okay. Swing. Oh, you threw out. Swing. Swing. Try to bring it in instead of throwing it out. Swing. 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 swing, swing, swing. Yes.
I can see the rope moving now.
Yeah. So one enemy of controlling the rope motion this way is at the beginning, if you drop your hand down, then you have to throw it up here.
Okay.
So it's a stuck elbow issue.
I see.
When the elbow coming down here, then it's stuck here. You cannot go that way. You have to lift it up like this.
That's a big problem.
So from time to time, when the rope goes to the right side, you are showing that pattern.
Right.
But if you keep it up here, instead of dropping from here, just to bring it down here, the elbow will clear your body.
Okay.
So now you can control the direction.
Yeah.
Now let's go intentionally more to the outward direction here. Still maintain the same stance. Yes. Now toward the target.
Pull it back in.
Yeah, toward the target. That's good. Now more inward. Yes. Yes. Yes, this is good. This is good. So I will record starting from outward motion. You should be able to control all this because your motor system is healthy. Okay, you're young, so you should be able to control your system. You are the owner of the swing motion, and then also you are responsible for what happens. Okay, so initially start from this direction, and then as I move, you have to guide the rope toward me.
You want me to start right?
Yeah, so ready, go. So now we have this more outward swing plane here. Swing. Now square. Swing. Swing, yes. Try to bring the rope toward me. Now more inward. Swing. 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 Swing, yes. So from now on, when you feel you are swinging outward too much, then you can quickly change it.
What I feel now is that my arms are much further away from my body.
Because so you don't want the right elbow stuck here.
Yeah, that's a natural improvement that just happens, but I feel like my arms are out from my body.
Yeah.
Here, I see 3 lanes basically, out.
So when your right shoulder goes flat back and then the arms travel backward quite a bit, from here, the only thing you can do is this here.
Yes.
But if you adjust the way you move the right shoulder and arm in the backswing, with that you can adjust the downswing plane here.
But the beauty of this is, when I was trying to get my shoulder to get where you wanted it to, my brain couldn't figure that out. You put this in my hand, and it just happens.
So that's what you need to learn.
Yeah.
Basically, you are the one who's making all the changes, right? As long as you have the right intention, you have the image of the target motion, then your body should be able to do that. And now you're doing it. So let's use the orange whip. This is heavier.
Sure.
It's reasonably flexible, but it's heavier. And then you can feel the motion of the end of the whip better.
Right.
Try to hold the middle of the grip.
Middle?
Yeah. Okay. And then again, swing and then make a square plane here. Okay. Swing back and forth. Swing. And on the way down, try to bring the hands a bit close to your body.
Okay.
Now give me an inward plane here. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yes. And then square. Square. It's a slight outward. Good. Now that's good. Swing, swing, swing. But now your stance is somewhat open here. Yeah. So it was easier, but keep the stance squared, and then try to bring the club also squared here. Go. Swing, swing, swing. More inward, swing, 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 yeah. So as long as you can control the direction intentionally, that means you can always fix the problem. Okay, so as long as you have the intention to swing it toward the target. Yeah. So now, this time, what we'll do is at the end of the backswing, instead of holding it tight, let it go.
Okay.
Let the club head go more.
Okay.
So your goal is to bring it to the horizontal position, but actually because the momentum, it will go down a bit
Like
more.
John Daly's swing.
It's too much, actually.
That's too
Yeah, that's unless you really lift your arm, you cannot do that. So while maintaining this motion, instead of resisting at the end, just let it go a bit more, then it will drop further down.
Okay.
And your goal is, let's go to the top. Let's go to the top position. Yeah, I have the double-sided tape here. So let it up here, and then try to
Oh, that one.
yeah, bring this way here, so that dropping the head behind your back here,
Not like
instead
that.
of going that way.
Yeah.
So this is, if this is going more along the shoulder,
Inside, yeah.
then it will be crossover.
Right.
So you have to, in your imagery, you're dropping this behind your back.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Then the head will stay closer to your actual swing plane. And at the top, try to have a somewhat reverse pivot posture here. So let's go to the top. And then this is exaggerated posture,
Sure.
but actually this is good.
Okay.
So try to go to this posture here. Then
Okay.
it's easy to drop it here.
Okay.
If your upper body leans this way, naturally it goes flat.
got it.
Okay. So try to go slightly reverse pivot posture.
But my back is leaning towards.
Yeah, you should have that feel. And then your gaze is over your left shoulder towards the target.
I can see the ball.
Yeah. Then when you go to that posture, then you will get away from that outward swing plane. More if you are more in reverse pivot posture, then naturally the swing path becomes more square.
Should I be seeing the ball out of the corner of my
Yeah,
eye?
yeah,
Is that
yeah.
I should.
Yeah, you should be able to see that.
It just barely comes into my view.
If it passes the horizontal or parallel position, then you'll be able to see that. Yes. Yes. Yeah, that position is really good. That line is really good. Yes. It's not crossover now. Yeah.
Interesting.
So let it go a bit more. Let it go a bit more. Because you fight, you just try to hold it, and then you go flat here.
I'm
Then
trying to collect the momentum of the club.
so yeah, let it go. Using the momentum, bring it up here. No fight here. It's just got swing in your backyard. So when the swing comes this way,
Right.
then wait until this is
Right.
done, and then push.
Right. Instead of halfway kicking forward. That's,
So if you rush down before this is completed, then you have to use your arms a lot. But when you wait enough, then you will be able to use your body.
I see.
Try to swing. So again,
Interesting.
swing, so the plane should be square. Still, it's slightly outward. Yes. So in your case, the feel you want to have is you are bringing the hands down closer to your body and the turning this way here. So instead of letting the hands go away from your body, bring it close to your body here and then keep turning that way. Then you will have a
And when
square.
does the release happen? After impact?
Just keep moving that way, then you'll yeah.
All right.
So the only thing is that you are pulling the hands a bit closer to your body. That's the only difference.
And that's what I want. Okay.
Okay, now let me watch from here. Still in the backswing, you tend to have inward swing plane.
Okay.
So you try to adjust it in the downswing. But if you bring it more away instead of inward in the backswing, then it will change a lot of things. Because you tend to keep this side lower here. And then in this position, if the spine turns this way, then you can easily go flat here. So while you are doing this, you don't have to change this, but try to keep the pelvis axis, the spine axis more this way here. So if you incline this way, still bring it back here. But if your spine axis is more toward the TV, the edge of the TV here, in this direction, instead of letting the upper body go about here,
okay.
try to go here, more reverse pivot posture. Okay. Then you'll be able to adjust the backswing plane. Then it'll be easier. And also, on the way down, so this is obvious from this direction. On the way down, your hands are going in too far here. Okay. Instead, from here, on the way down, try to keep the body leaning away, and then turn around here, instead of pushing the hands this way. So let it go around your body. So in the downswing, try to lean away as you swing in the downswing. So that means you have to push the ground well with the left leg. You don't let your body shift toward the target.
I see. This comes like a post, and I turn around it.
Yeah, push, and then you can turn this way here.
I see.
Instead of letting the upper body go here.
All right.
Mm-hmm. So as you swing, still the tempo is a bit too fast.
Okay.
So you are trying to dominate the whip. Let it go. So you have to respect the inertia of the whip. So you have to listen to what the whip wants to. Okay. So by having good neural connection here, with that, you feel the motion of the whip. If this is the tempo, bring it back, let it go, bring it back, and let it go. Bring it back and let it go, instead of try to dominate. All right. So bring the tempo down a little bit, make the motion a bit bigger. Okay. So at the end, at the top, wait until this is completed and start the downswing. All right. Still the swing plane is outward, so you have to bring it inward. As you swing back and forth, you have to pay attention to how the end of the whip is moving, and whether you are bringing the swing plane toward the target or slightly inward versus whether it's going outward. You have to feel that. So right there, because it's already down here, so on the way down, it will naturally stuck here. Mm-hmm. So bring this away from the body a bit more. From here, just to come this way, and then bring it here. Mm-hmm. So here, in the downswing, keep the hands closer to the body, so that naturally, it turns this way, and then as you turn the body, it will go more flat here.
Should I feel like I have more width in the backswing to get that elbow away?
Mm-hmm. So let it go. Let it go. So instead of leaning this way, throw it and then go to this position. All right. Reverse pivot posture. Bring the hands closer to it. Bring the hands even closer. Yes. Yes. That's really good. So that's your hand position, okay? Now instead of letting it go, instead of letting the hands go out here, bring it here,
I'm maintaining
Turn-
the centripetal
turn this way.
force.
Turn this way. So you're emphasizing this turn now more by keeping the hands a bit close to your body. Yes. So in order to do that, in order for the hands to come down this way here, close to your body and turn this way, you should not go down here.
Right.
If you go and then move the hands out, away from your body, it goes here. But your goal is to bring the hands close to your body and then let it go. That means here, instead of going this way, instead of making a detour, just from here, follow the expressway and then let it go. Instead of go here and then try to do anything.
Okay.
So if your goal is to bring the hands a bit close to your body and then turn this way more, then you have to also guide the hands properly from here, make that happen, right? Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It feels like I'm cutting across the ball,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's just
Bec-
a new movement for me.
Because you tend to swing outward all the time.
Yeah.
So now when you introduce this, it's a completely different.
Yeah.
But you have to get used to this.
And the bringing the hands closer to the body, does that increase the speed? Sort of like a figure skater, when they come in, it gets faster?
But in that case, your body spins faster, but the end of the whip, it depends.
I see, okay.
Yeah. So, if you don't do anything and just try to bring it in, then the end speed will remain similar. But because now the radius is shorter, so you just spin faster.
Right.
But the bottom line is instead of drop and then letting the hands go, this is why, because you keep hitting the ball right, and it bounces back to
And
the
that's why I
door
always feel crowded in my swing. And I'm like this. And
because of this motion here.
yeah.
But now instead, slightly go outward here,
Yeah.
and then bring the hands closer, so that let it go here. And it can be a nice, straight motion here, following an expressway, instead of a detour, a traffic light here, and then try to do something. So clear the right elbow from your body, and then bring the hands a bit closer to your body. Yes. Yes. Now, the last one was a bit inward, but the second last one, it was a fairly square. Yeah. So as you do this, you have to see the motion of the end of the whip, and then pay attention to the plane, whether it's going outward, it's a square, or it's inward. So that way you will be able to adjust your motion.
Yeah, maybe you could call out the direction and see if I can move it.
It's a slightly outward now. It's a square. Yeah, more or less a square. Slightly outward. Slightly outward. It's inward. Slightly outward. Square. 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 Yes. So that's what you need to know. And then perhaps having a mirror or something on this side, and then when you practice, try to see what you're doing here. So, or the best is, I think, put something on the ground
Right.
that shows the direction.
Right. Like when you were saying square, I was seeing the ball look here like it was a little inside.
Yeah.
And then when you were saying it was out, it looked straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now this is the direction toward the target. So relative to this, feel the calibrate motion. So what happens is, let's say if you have an arc here, when it's a square, after it passes where the ball is, then
It has to go inside there.
it goes in,
Yes.
yeah, because
Okay.
the low point occurs
Right.
about here.
Right.
When it's outward, the low point occurs here. By the time you are here, it looks like it's going toward the target.
That's right.
But actually, it's up below.
Yeah.
So, and then when you don't hit the ball well, then it gives you really bad low hook. Okay? Or when you hit it up, then when you have good impact, the ball goes to the right. So you have to adjust this ultimately. And then swing. So
Interesting.
use a stick here and then try to control your swing. Now let me watch from this direction.
Start square.
As long as you are aware of what you're doing, then you can always adjust the direction,
Yeah.
right? So now let's go to the club swing, and then we'll do the step drills. But let's go to stage 3.
Okay.
It has stage 1 and 2. Stage 1, you take 2 steps, and then stage 1, you just take 1 step toward the target. Stage 3, no step. But let's go to stage 3 directly. So assume your regular stance and throw the club this way first, and then bring it back.
Got it.
Now, when you do that, keep the trigger. This is called the trigger motion.
Yeah.
Make it a bit flatter here.
Okay.
Then it will give you a bit steeper backswing.
Okay. Versus
If you
this
just
would be low.
if you just throw like this, your hands are actually traveling high up.
Okay.
That this will give you flat backswing here.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
But if you keep the hands close to your body and then go this way, then this becomes flat. From there, when you have backswing, then you'll be able to adjust the backswing direction slightly. So keep the trigger somewhat flat. From there, throw and then bring it back quickly, and then let it go. And then as you do, you're paying too much attention to your body motion here. Try to pay attention to the club motion here. So go here, club head, let the club head go, and that the rest of your body should be fairly comfortable here. Instead of,
I see. The club will move me.
again, you are doing the same thing here. Instead, just feel it here on the right side during the backswing. Just to put the weight on the right side. Go here. And then feel the motion of the club head instead of
All right.
try to move your shoulders certain ways. So pay attention to the club motion. Feel the club motion, and then let it go all the way. You stopped it. You stopped it. Let it go all the way. Yes. You stopped it. With this, you're holding it here.
Oh, okay.
Let it go. So drop it behind your back. Drop it behind your back. Again. Again, you're holding it up here. So when you have this trigger motion, your body turns this way. From this, by using a shoulder turn, let it go all the way here. So this is one motion. Let it go here. Wind up here. Good wind up. So
I'm using this momentum to throw the club.
yeah, but the problem is that your right arm is going flat, the low too much.
All right.
So you're going here.
Got it.
So you cannot really let it go this way and hold it here. So when this is the motion you want to generate, then the arms even have to follow that trend here. And to go this way. Here instead of.
All right.
So relax here a little bit. Yeah, so make a big arc this way. And then drop the cleaver behind your back. Swing. So if you just feel the motion here, if you feel the motion, let me hold this. Again, the whip, the same thing, but if this is the motion of the club head here, So you don't have to really force it, but relax your wrist and arms a little bit. Swing, swing, swing. Let it go all the way here. Let it go. Let it go all the way. So you have to use this is called pronation, supination, and then wrist motion a little bit. So you use the wrist instead of just try to hold it here.
Right.
So if you let the wrist go, then it's easier to guide this motion, continue this motion. So let the wrist also work with the club. Again. And then at the top, have more time. Wait a bit more. So let the club head go all the way and wait more. And let it go, yes. And then bring the hands a bit close to your body so that you can change the swing plane. So all you need to remember is the initial hand position here in the trigger. Your hands are going here, from here to here. On the way down, try to also move the hands that way.
Okay.
Yeah, using the trigger, you are prepping your body actually. Yes. You rushed. At the end of the trigger motion, still there, instead of just pulling it, wait until this is completed.
Okay, right.
Both ends, when you have a change of direction, then give enough time.
I have to like cradle it. And then
So you have a mature transition, bring it back, and also mature transition and let it go. But because you are already prepping your body with the trigger motion, so you are making a strong statement here. Okay, I'm going to move my hands this way, and bring it back, and also that way. So the trigger motion guides everything. Okay?
that sets the timing for the swing.
This time, again, the trigger motion plane, downswing motion plane will be different.
Yeah.
So try to match those. Yes, like that. So by using the trigger, you are gauging everything, right?
This is where I need to come back to.
Yeah. So that way, you can have a lot more purposeful practice. You have a good image here, your target motion. If you know your target motion, then you'll be able to move your body that way. So again, use the trigger nicely. Yeah, if that's the motion you want to generate, remember that.
That's the swing that I want.
Yeah, remember that. And then faster backswing, good, active backswing. And then on the way down, you also have to bring the club that way. Yes. And then don't fight at the top. Still give it more time.
Okay.
Because you know where to go, so you don't have to worry about this. So here, this is the motion you want to generate. And then just keep good wind up, and let that happen. Good wind up. Shoulder wind up is really important. So no rush. Yeah, that's perfect. Now the planes are better matched. So always when you practice, when you use a trigger motion, for example, it will make it a lot more natural.
Right.
Because you're going from here, start the backswing. Naturally, the backswing becomes more active. But in addition to that, you're using the trigger motion to guide your downswing here. So, okay, if I'm going to swing this way, then I first want to feel what it is like, and then bring it back and then swing that way.
Okay, now that's for a straight path. If I were to hit,
It's the same idea. So if you want to,
where your hands end up in a different place.
yeah.
Okay.
And then also slide outward and bring it back and then let it go.
So if I'm putting it right, my hands will probably be higher.
Your hands can go a bit more outward. So pointing more outward here, and then guides the backswing this way. So ultimately,
So it's not necessarily at the height, it's more where the
yeah.
where the trigger starts.
Yeah. So with the hand position, you can control this. If you're going here, then it's easier to bring it in flatter. And if the hands go here, it'll be easier to bring it a bit steeper here. So by using where you are throwing the hand, which direction you are throwing the hands, then you're guiding the backswing, and then make the downswing happen in the same direction. Yeah. So now let's say make it the square plane. This the actual downswing was a bit more inward because your upper body motion here. So make sure once you have that image using the trigger, then throw the club along that direction. So then you have to adjust your body motion so that the club motion occurs along that plane. Yes. And then rush it a little bit at the top. So give enough time. Yes. So imagine that this is your pre-shot routine.
Yeah.
Then by using the pre-shot routine, you are guiding your body motion, right?
Right.
Now that have in your image, and then go to the ball, and then all you need to do is just to move the club correctly in the backswing here, and then let it go.
Right.
So what happens is when you use the pre-shot routine and the real swing, in between those, you have reasonable time, but it shouldn't be too long or too short, right? So because of this pre-shot routine, your body knows how to move. And also you have this image here, overall, the shape of the swing, the swing plane, and then go to the ball, and then keep that in mind, and then execute the swing.
Picture the rope trail.
To create the same swing plane. So again, stage 3. So with the trigger motion, guide the direction, and then in the downswing, make sure you deliver the club that way. And then when you rush, then you break out of that. So at the top, you have to have enough time. Yes. So now, whenever you deliver it correctly, then you don't have this. Normally, when you throw the club that way, then you have the pelvis going backward quite a bit, going to this position. But when you match the trigger and actual downswing better, you have less of this. It's because your body, by instinct, you're adjusting your body motion to make that happen. Okay? So this is really important. You have to adjust your body motion so that you can deliver the club along the plane you intend to.
I think that's the biggest difference with your method. Rather than try to adjust the position and to fix the swing, you adjust the motion and it fixes the position.
Yes. So in a sense, if you pay less attention to your body motion actually better organizes.
Yeah. And more to where the swing path needs to
So
go.
use more external focus here, so that your goal is to deliver the club head along certain direction, and then if you just pay attention to that, let the body figure out the rest. Okay? But if you are in a swamp, it's hard to get out of that, and then certain swing habits will interfere with that motion. But as you repeat this again and again, practice this again and again, you'll be able to get out of it. So 0.1 inch every time you will practice this, then eventually you will see that you are getting out of the swamp.
Oh, I see.
So always,
So the direction of my progress.
yeah. So always have the right intention, and have a correct image in your head, whichever that is, the best for you. I think the overall shape of the swing will be a good image here. Yeah. So if your goal is to deliver the club in a certain direction, then image the swing plane here. And when you have this image in your swing plane in your image, then trigger motion in that pathway here, bring it back and then let it go. So the motion will be really consistent, right? And then at the ball, again, image that and then bring the club head that way and then let let it go. So let me record your stage 3. Try to have enough time at the top, no rush, okay? And then use the trigger well. So the trigger will basically set the foundation of the whole thing, right? So bring the trigger in the right direction, and then with that, have a backswing, active backswing. So ready, stage 3, go. Ready, stage 3, go. So now the swing plane is a lot cleaner. Yeah. Now what we'll do is still it's a stage 3, but make the trigger motion more rigorous. That means using the trigger motion, you will have really active backswing. So instead of just go here and then try to bring it back here. Try to bring the club fast in the backswing. So using the trigger will prep your body. When you do that, you have to use the body more. So instead of go here and try to do this, use the body, shift the body actively. And then also, instead of just stopping there to here, make it continuous all the way and then let it go. So you don't stop the club, let the club go all the way. Yes.
That was faster.
Yes. That motion. So use the active trigger, active backswing. Give enough time. Yes. Oh, this time it was a bit outward.
It was. I could feel it.
You can feel it.
Didn't come in.
Yes.
It took off on me.
Yeah. That's what's important. If you know what you're doing, you can adjust it.
Feel it.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
And then so using the trigger, you will make your backswing really active. Active backswing means that you will move the club fast, that because the momentum, it will go enough.
Right.
No need to fight.
Right.
And then have enough time. Because it's now here,
Right.
you'll have more time
It's
naturally.
forcing me to have the time.
Yeah, and then let it go. So all you need to pay attention now is, because the plane is established, so all you need to pay attention is just to change the direction and then deliver it. And then coming back along that plane, and then deliver it along that plane. That's all you need to know.
It's like this is
You don't have any unnecessary motion perpendicular to the swing plane. Mostly is along the swing plane. So your main concern is just changing the direction, right? So have enough time and then change the direction and then deliver. So active trigger, active backswing. Yes. Oh, yes. That's it. So the swing plane is now, you are more aware of the swing plane, right?
very aware.
So where you are throwing the club.
Yeah, it's like my mind before didn't even. I've just swung and I hoped I hit it straight.
Because you were in the swamp, so you don't have much that you can do there.
Yeah.
You're already there. All you do is just exactly the same thing, hit the ball outward, because that was the only thing allowed it in that swamp. But now, from the beginning, using the trigger motion, you are directing the plane, and then try to move the club along that plane, right? So all you do again is having active motion, change the direction, bring it back, and again change the direction and then bring it down. So no need to put a lot of effort in the downswing, because if your backswing is active, then automatically your downswing will be
Right,
active,
it has to be.
because it will better prepare your body.
That should be the name of your book, Out of the Swamp.
Out of swamp. Yeah. Yeah, the theme of this session is out of swamp. And then in doing that, let's add one more aspect, which is the shoulder, the wrist motion. Okay. Imagine you have a sticker, okay, here.
Yeah.
And then you are lazy enough, so you don't want to really take it off yourself. By swinging fast, you want to take it off, okay? But in order to shake it off, then you have to use your wrist more here. So on the way down, use your wrist. Not just the body motion, but try to add the wrist motion there to, snap it off. Okay. So again, stage 3. So now the swing motion is a lot more active, and I can hear the whipping sound. Yeah. So let me record this. Again, try to snap off the sticker. Okay. So ready, stage 3, go. Ready, stage 3, go. Oh, the swing plane is a lot better now. The swing plane is, look at this.
Big time.
Yeah.
Difference.
By guiding from using the trigger motion, go here and just swing it through.
What's clicking for me is now the swing doesn't end there anymore.
Yeah.
The swing ends here now
Yes.
for me.
Continuous
And
motion.
so, yeah, the arc, I'm just getting to the ball with a different path now. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you look at your
Because
swing,
no one trains moving the club over here.
if you look at your swing plane here now, it's, yeah.
Nice work.
So it's a natural flow here, right? Yeah. So now the next thing you need to know, you need to do is take a dance class. So use your leg a bit more, and also make the motion smoother. Currently, still it's a bit, your body is a bit, rigid. Yeah. So you go here, like this, but, okay, so you can make the whole motion one continuous motion.
I see.
Okay, so that's something you have to work on. Now, let's do a stage 3 and do your regular swing. Right. Imagine that you have a ball here, okay? Ball here. So first do a stage 3 as your pre-shot routine, and then try to replicate the backswing motion and the downswing plane with the ball there, okay? So first use stage 3 as your pre-shot routine, prep your body. Now approach it to the ball. Give the same.
Without?
Yeah, without the trigger, but give a similar backswing and downswing. Again, stage 3. Stage 3 first.
Oh, sorry.
So still have large enough backswing, no rush. Okay, so your goal is have active backswing from here, but in order to do active backswing, you have to use the body first.
Okay.
So when you have trigger, then because of this body turn, you can easily bring this actively. So from here, you have to use the body and then try to bring it up. So for that, you can shift the body away first, and then by pushing the ground with the right leg, you can do the same thing. But now, let's do this. So there's a 3-step approach.
All right.
Have a full stage 3, then mini stage 3.
Okay.
Make a motion about this big here.
Okay.
So from here, and then active backswing. Right. So the purpose is to decrease the magnitude of the trigger more and more, and then pay attention to the backswing, right? So full trigger, mini trigger, mini stage 3, and then your regular swing. Okay. And then, but use the lower body more actively so that create a similar motion. And the mini stage 3. So again, in the actual swing, you tend to slide that way more.
Okay, but with the trigger, I don't.
When you have a trigger, actually, when you have good trigger here,
And I'm pulling back.
you are shifting this way, but you are ready to come back here.
Yeah.
So your left leg is controlling this, but without that, you tend to shifted there a bit too much. So then naturally the swing plane becomes a bit more outward.
Right.
So use the legs. Use the legs. Feel the motion of the club and keep enough backswing.
Yeah, because I load right up when I come back. So stage 3?
Full stage 3, mini stage 3, and the regular. A bit rushed, but basically your swing plane is a lot better now. Okay, so let me record this. Full stage 3, mini stage 3, and regular. Okay, ready. Full stage 3, mini stage 3, and regular. Go. Ready, full stage 3, mini stage 3, and the regular. Go. Yeah. So that mini stage 3 will give you, because this motion is smaller, so you have to use your body. Naturally, it will be transferred to your regular swing. But so let's go to the front view here. Full stage 3. You can make it faster and then let the club go more. Still, it's not crossing the horizontal position. Now. This is your original swing. Go back, and then you're shifting the body quite a bit this way.
Oh, yeah.
And then you're pushing it, lifting it up. Lifting the arms up here. Okay? And then it just stops about here. Now, if you look at the finish position, so you're swing through. And then your backswing, if you look at your backswing, you're always going to this position here. Instead, the head going this way, try to keep the head this way. Face turning this way, but go here instead of here. When your head goes this way, then you're going to this position. But if the head goes here, then naturally you'll have more reverse pivot posture here. So that's something you need to practice. Now,
we get to hit a ball.
yeah, again the same thing. Full stage 3, mini stage 3, and this time in the regular swing, hit the ball. Just a sec. When you do the mini stage 3, you're rushing from the end of the trigger. So although the magnitude is smaller, but still you have the similar time contents here. This versus So, Vijay sing, Vijay sing.
Okay.
The same time contents, no rush over there. Okay. So for that, although the motion is smaller, you have to still use the body the same way. Versus Vijay.
We'll do the whole thing over?
Look at this. It's a straight shot here.
Straight to.
Yeah, again. So, with the stage 3 being your pre-shot routine, as you get used to the rhythm, then you don't have to really worry about the flow. Then in the rear swing, just pay attention to the delivery. Make sure your club head passes through where the ball is, but still keep going. So again, stage 3, full, mini, and then regular. Yeah, always important to have enough time up there. So in order to have enough time, your backswing should be fast. Right. For that, you have to start the backswing with your body, not your arms. Yeah. So give good shift away of your pelvis, and then turn around the right hip. So go back and then do the full stage 3, mini stage 3. And also, again, now if the ball goes slightly rightward, then your intention is to bring the swing plane more leftward. Then from the stage 3, mini stage 3, try to bring the trigger a bit flatter, prep that, and then in the actual swing, bring the ball more toward the target. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, you see, you can change the direction of the ball. So this is it. So as long as you have a good intention, you have a purposeful swing, then you can change the direction. So again, the intention is to try to make it a bit more inward. Okay, so by using the stage 3, you practice that, and in the rear swing, in the downswing, guide the hands and club that way. Then you'll be able to hit the straight instead of sending it to the right. So again, full stage 3. So feel the flow. A bit rushed. Mm-hmm. Yes, the plane is good. Good, very good. So the reason why you try to go in the regular swing is because you were doing the full stage 3, mini stage 3, so you want to continue that. Your body wants to continue this. So you don't want to have too much time here. Right. Try to go right away.
I fall back into this one.
Then what you can do is adjust the time gap between the full and mini.
I'll make it a little longer.
Yeah, and then from mini to your rear swing, use the similar time. There's always the pre-shot routine should be really purposeful, right? Mm-hmm. So you have your intention in there. Mm-hmm. So the time gap and all that. Yeah. So guide the club, and also have a reasonable time gap, and then make sure you prep your body enough. So the whole purpose of the trigger is to have active backswing. Here. So all the way. Let it go. Try to drop the club a bit more. So when the backswing is short, then you rush. Yes. The timing is good. Ooh, Vijay Singh.
Almost on the tee.
Yeah, it's dead straight. So this is the thing, and still you need to have more time. So keep saying Vijay Singh.
Okay, but the time before, when I would think of more time, it just meant wait longer. But what it really means is more pressure into the backswing to give me more time.
And then so you use the right leg more.
Yeah.
And also you'll have a bigger backswing.
Right.
With that, naturally you'll have more time.
Okay.
When you have a bigger backswing here, on the way down, the way you use the body is a lot easier.
Okay, so too quick a transition means not a hard enough, forceful enough backswing.
Usually, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
general rule.
So then you are short here, then because your body automatically knows that you're not ready. Either you use the arms, shift the body that way too much. So there's always a compensation motion. But when you have enough turn here, your body is ready to go, so only change the direction and then throw, let it go. But if it's not enough, then you try to introduce a compensation motion. So now let's record this. This is just a matter of strategy, right? Okay, full stage 3, mini and the regular, go. That's good timing. Yes, good timing. Yep.
My backswing is so much deeper.
Yeah.
I can't even see the ball anymore. I'm looking here, and I'm hoping I'm going to hit the ball, but I do.
So if your head goes this way, it's hard to watch. But if you go here, then by using peripheral vision over your shoulder, you can keep gazing the ball. Yeah. And then let the club go more. What you do now well is you're having enough time up there. So when you have a large enough backswing, the ball is already on the tee. So when you have a large enough backswing, that automatically happens. Okay? So, okay, ready, full stage 3, mini stage 3, and the regular, go. Yep. Good timing. Yep, perfect. It almost hit me. So this is it. So when you adjust the direction, you don't have to worry about hitting to the right, okay, anymore. That means you can pay more attention to your game instead of worrying about making mistake. So at the beginning, when you practice, your shot was consistently right and then hit the door back there. But now it's fairly straight because you have the ability to adjust the swing plane. And use the trigger to guide the direction. And also the timing, which should be VJ, sing. The exaggerated VJ here. VJ, that exaggeration is not coming from just saying it, but rather using the faster motion and the bigger backswing here. So, VJ, sing, and make sure you deliver the club head where the ball is, and also following the plane you established with the trigger motion, right?
I was always taught Moon River.
Moon River. Yeah, whichever works for you. So hit some balls just to try to feel more comfortable. So keep hitting. You can still use the stage 3 as you appreciate it. So for a while, you have to diligently use stage 3. The backswing is a bit snappy. So the transition motion should be continuous, okay? This is perfect. So it's a matter of working on the tempo, and then plane. As long as you are aware of those, then it should be okay. Okay, because your handicap is low enough, so all you need is just adjusting these. Then your game will be very different.
It feels very different already. Very good. Yep.